Okay guys, welcome to build video number 8. Now, this is probably one of the trickiest parts of the build. Once you get through this, it's plain sailing. So, let's get started. You need the Y carriage. Okay, it's a nice part. 2 rails with carriages. Mine are in place and all greased up. I'll advise this, although this will be a dirty job, I do advise this and keep a little bit of tissue nearby. Now, we may use this piece here, not to put in its permanent position, but as a little breaker for one of the rails, but I'll get to that in a minute. But if we use that, we'll need some more screws, so we'll see. But for the rails, we need 8, if I remember rightly, M3, 12mm screws or bolts or whatever you want to call them, but they are the hexagonal head. Super important because you've got to get these nice and tight and there's not much room to play. Okay, so let's get started. We need our hex key or Allen key, whatever you would like to call it. Okay, now this one I have is a reasonable one, but there's no curled end, so it makes it a little bit harder. So if you've got one with curled ends, which I do believe I have in a box over here. Sorry guys, I should have this set up first. Okay, so let me have a look. No. There we go. There's one there. What I mean by curled end is I mean like a round end, so you can do it at an angle. Okay, but we'll use 2. So let's start with the rail with the, hold on, let me get this right, with the Y rail, which is the horizontal rail to this part, not the vertical. Okay, so we'll move one rail to the side for now. And what happens is this rail here gets mounted on there, like so. And it gets mounted through the holes there. Sorry, my bad. That one round, make sure you get it right. Yeah, let me get it right. Okay. So yeah. So there. So it gets mounted on there. Okay. Right there. And we should have room. Tricky this, like I said. Yeah, we should have room to still mount that. Okay. So best way to do that, turn it up, whole thing over. Place this on here. Start putting your bolts in. This will be tricky, this. So I'll try and show you as best I can. I have to ignore the grease getting everywhere. So first things first, let's see, put the parts in. 1. Just helps if we can get them in. 2. They'll probably pop out, but we'll put them in. Start at 3. 4. Now this is a very tight design. And it was made purposely this way, oh, that one's a little bit stuck, to give the best size possible machine with the best quality. Okay, so that's them. So what we're going to do now is just going to place them over the holes. There we go. Then if we can get an angle just to get them going, we will. See, I'll turn this round. Sorry about the last video guys, it wasn't the clearest, but I'll do my best to show it so that you see I'm just tightening. Like that. And I'm not doing all super tight to start with. Not with the round end. When using the round end, I only use this really to get it started. And almost tight, because otherwise just start grinding down. 2. Same on this side. Like I say, this is the trickiest part. So you've got to get your build order right. So if you follow the videos, you can't go wrong. And now I've got to start. There we go. Now what I usually do now, check that out, just double check that, oh yeah, as I wanted to check, see them 2 screws that haven't actually gripped that carriage. So let's adjust them a little bit. See if, oh no, sorry, they had gripped. It was just, I needed to do a lot more. Okay, so now, once you're happy, you've got them all started and almost tight. Keeping the rail, remember, super important, we'll keep this rail on this carriage. Okay, then we're going to tighten them again. I like to do diagonals, so you should find just enough room to fit your iron key in. Tight. Doing diagonals, obviously. That's quite loose. There we go. Then this one. And this one. At this point, they're too tight to use the ball end, so you've got to make sure you use a normal hack's end. Then I'm going to go around, tighten them all up one last time, because you don't want any slop only playing your print, so go tight as you can, but without breaking the part. Now everything that you'll see has been made super chunky, been made that way for a reason, for maximum strength, but yet nice and small for maximum size, or for minimum size. And when you see what this thing can achieve when it prints, you'll be impressed. Okay, so then that should move nicely, as you see it does. I won't let it drop, but you can see it does. If yours doesn't for any reason, probably just wants lubing up. Okay, so this gets mounted this way, so that's your Y, forward and backward. Okay. Okay. So this is the tricky part. Got some of this grease off. Now the reason I said we might use this end stop is to bolt that on there, so this has no possible way of falling out. Because what we're going to try and do now is we're going to mount that on there like so, which as you can imagine is tricky, but I think I might get away with it. So yeah, I think I will get away with it. So we're going to ignore this piece because that's used for something else in a minute. In fact, let's put that down. Let's give this a wipe because I've gone and got blooming grease all over it. Okay. So again, I'd advise get your 4 screws in place. As you can see, it's just straight from the print bed. If you find your screws not going in for any reason, just hollow it out slightly with one of them small round files like this. I think that one, not this stiff one, because sometimes you get a little bit of a print artifact or something to that effect. And it's just one of those things with 3D printing. Okay, that's 3. See if I can't get this one in now. Yeah, there we go, so it's fine anyway. Okay, so now this one is vertical mounted, or vertical in comparison to the rest of the machine. And in fact, what I want to try and do, I'm going to try and mount it like so. Really, all you need to get is 1 or 2 going, so that's caught. Just going to try and do one up a little bit. Don't cross thread your screws here. Super important. Don't know if you can see, but just try and get one start. Okay, that seems to have started, so take that out. Keep in mind you don't want your other. Okay, I've got it started too much. Now I've got it twisted. So you'll find this. Any build has a few tricky parts, and it just so happens that this is the trickiest part. Okay, so I think I've got that in situ. Before I go any further, I'm just going to try and do a couple more up. You can tell it's catching. If for any reason it starts getting really tight before you've got anywhere near going in, then you know you're almost cross-thread in, so don't force it. Okay, now like we did before, we just double check. You can see there that one's just pushed away a little bit, so we'll just bring that in. Because all we want to do is tighten up well and truly at the end the other way, because that's the hardest part, getting there and keeping place. There we go. Okay, so like we did the other side, that's some grease off, is we're going to tighten these up diagonals. So that one, get it to a reasonable tight stage. So we can do the other diagonal, so this one here. You guys can see this. As you can't, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like I say, this isn't printer for a complete beginner. This is someone who wants a great printer for great detail and good quality. And you probably already own a printer, and this is just to add to your printing arsenal. I think it's this one. Yes, this one. Keeping in mind, try not to lose any of the rails falling out and all the parents and all that. Not that they have done yet, but just bear that in mind. Again, you want these nice and tight. Not so tight you break the part, but to be fair, it'd be pretty hard to break apart because it's super chunky. That's one. Oh, almost lost one. Okay, and then this one should move in that direction. So now we have that motion and that motion. But obviously all this happens in that state. Okay, that was quite a taxing video with grease everywhere, so I'm going to get my hands cleaned up. So that's build video number 8 done.